Hey everyone, okay, I wanted to do a little get ready with me for nothing. I'm not sure what I'm getting ready for, but I have like vague plans. I might hang out with a few people, and I literally just want to vent and spill the tea on my ex-boyfriend because he is a fucking psychopath and he tries to make me look like the crazy one. So if anyone else can fucking relate, I don't know, like this video if you also have a crazy ass ex. Okay, I'm gonna start with my primer. Let me just start the game with my ex-boyfriend shit. Okay, so I met him when I was 15, literally 15 years old. He was 19, about to be 20. And like I never lie about my age or anything. Like, because I was like telling my friend about this and she was like, did you lie about your age or something? I was like, no, what the fuck? Like, I literally like, and he never even asked either. Like, he just assumed I was like, I asked him later like how old he like assumed I was, and he was like, oh, I thought you were like 17, because like the person who invited me was like also 17. But yeah, I like told him that I was 15. Like, he didn't even ask or anything. Like, that's how you know a nigga's up to some shit, because like he literally didn't ask how old I was. Like, he didn't want to know, but I was literally 15, so it's like, boy, I look young as hell. You're not even gonna ask how fucking old I am? Like, that's fucking red flag number one, okay? I should just honestly just left him right there where I fucking met him. Like, really though. But we literally hook up the first night. Like, I met him. Like, I don't know, I was really like feeling him, and I don't know, I just had a feeling that this one was gonna be like something special, you know? So I got really drunk and I hooked up with him, and like literally I didn't even know his name, but like for some reason I had like a good feeling that I was gonna like see him again. Like, that was not the last I was seeing of him. Like, it was so crazy. I just had like a feeling, like, you know what I mean? I don't know if anyone can relate, but you ever meet someone and you're like, oh, I already like can tell this is gonna be something like something more, you know what I mean? So yeah, I started fucking with him. He would call me like literally all the time, like literally on stalker level, like literally call me all the time. Like, literally my mom would be like, are you okay? Like, who's calling you so much? Like, because I'd be like literally in the shower, like trying to take a shower to get ready to go hang out with him, and he'd literally be blowing up my shit. Like, I literally wasn't even able to take a shower to get ready to go hang out with him because of how much he was blowing up my shit. Like, literally, I'd have to like jump out of the shower, answer the phone, and he'd get hella mad. Like, what are you doing? Like, honestly, thinking back, like, all this shit was such a red flag. But like, at the time, like, I was 15, and that's like literally the moral of the story. It's like, he's fucking gross for like just carrying out such like a, I don't know, just doing that. Like, I'm the age he was when he met me now, and literally I could never see myself having sex with a 15-year-old boy. Like, that is so weird. So anyway, we mess with each other, yada yada. Come to find out, he had a girlfriend. He literally had a girlfriend, and I didn't find out till like way later when a whole bunch of other shit happened. I actually found out because we got arrested together. So we got arrested together. We were like hanging out, and he had given me like his watch to wear, and then we like literally got arrested. So I literally like went to fucking like this group home type shit, and I was like just literally sitting in the bunk like thinking about him so much. Like I had just met him, but he like gave me like his watch to hold on to, like because he was like going to jail, and like I don't know, I had this like surreal connection, honestly. Like the way I felt about him was like we just were like, every time he literally would call me, like I had butterflies, like even still, like years later. And I'm not trying to cry right now, so I'm gonna go on to the more fucked up shit right now. So MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, if you literally don't have this and you have acne or anything you want fucking cover, you need it. So anyway, so one day I see on my phone, on the news, the local news where we used to live, that I found out he had a girlfriend, and I was like totally trying to move on, right? Like I had got a boyfriend, but we were still like low-key messing with each other on the low. Like I don't know why like he thought that was okay to have like a whole ass wife and shit. But like I don't know, I was just young, and like I don't even know what to say. Like he's a fucking grown ass man, like he should have been known better. But anyway, so I try to get over him. I see that, oh, they get married. Him and his girlfriend got married. I like saw it on Facebook. And I was like with some other guy at the time, his friend. I started dating his friend because I was trying to get over him. And I was with him, and I was just like hella upset about it. Like that shit wrecked me. Like the day he got married to that other girl, like I was a fucking mess. And it's like, literally, you should like, I wish I realized like that shit, you're gonna get him honestly how you lose him. Like literally, like that's so true. Like if he was doing that to her, like of course he's gonna like do that to you, but we'll get into that in a second. Okay, so then a little later, like maybe like a year or two later, after I found out he got married, we like kind of distanced each other. Like we literally weren't hanging out. He had a kid and shit. So I was like, you just do your thing. Like I was trying to forget about him. And then I see like on the local news, like on my phone or something, his name, that he got arrested for all this crazy shit, like threatening his ex-wife that he was gonna kill her, and like, you know, came to her house with like a gun and like tried to kill her, and like terrorist threats and like all this shit. And then my mom got home and she asked me about it because she knew that I knew him because we had gotten arrested together. So she had heard his name before. So my mom asked me about it, and she's like, you know him, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is like so fucking sad and embarrassing. I can't believe like I'm associated with someone who would like fucking do that, like act that way. But what happened was, he was like, as soon as he got locked up for that shit, he was hella calling me from jail. Like he would spend all his money talking to me, like telling me like, oh, like, you know, I was going crazy, like I was not doing the right thing, like I just want someone to love, and like I don't want to do that again, I want to be different, and blah blah blah, like giving me some bullshit. I mean, at the time it was like very real, but now it just seems like all bullshit. So yeah, he was telling me this, talking my ear off, like how much he wants to be with me. And I'm like 18 at this point, so Yeah, I would go and like visit him in jail and stuff. And he was like literally like do like gestures behind the like glass so that because you have to pick up the phone and talk on it so like the cops can like listen in on your phone call, but so the cops didn't know what he was saying. He would like gesture like he loves me, like he wants to fuck me, like all this shit, and then just so they like couldn't hear him on the phone. Like how weird is that? And then he was like, oh, ask me with his hands, like, how old are you? Like, he like didn't even know how, like, forgot how old I was at this point, but I had like just turned 18, so we had started dating. Okay, so this is what happened. He was telling me all this in jail and making it seem like, oh, he wanted to be with me, but when he got out of jail, he was like, oh, I'm just not ready for a relationship. Like, he had just gotten out of like a marriage and he's like, I'm just not ready to like do all this again. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why did you, why have we been, you were pursuing me, like the stuff you were saying, like, like makes me think you want to be with me. Like, it was a lot more than just, I've hung out with a lot of guys, so I can tell if they're just, saying some shit to get in your pants, like, or if they really mean it. It's like, he was talking, and it's like, he was talking all this about, like, really, like, wanting kids one day, and, like, all this shit that I thought he was, like, opening up to me, but honestly, it just all feels like a lie now, like. So he gets out of jail and then he's like, I'm honestly not ready for like a relationship. And my life back there was like not going good this time. So I was like super upset. Like I was sad. Like I didn't know what to do. Like I felt like I was in limbo with him because like oh my god, I'm getting cry. He didn't want me to be with anyone else, but he didn't want to be with me. So it's like, what do I do? Like I was just so young, like, it's hard to walk away from someone when you've been with them for so long. And it's like, literally, that's all I wanted, like, was to be with him. Like, I thought that was just the goal. Like, we could be so happy, like, if we could just be together, But that was just, like, a fantasy, I guess. You can't make someone like be like what you want them to be, People just are who they are. And even though he said like, oh, he would never do that to me, like he did end up doing that to me, so who's to say? I feel like I'm never even gonna trust guys anymore because it's like they always say they're not gonna do you like that, and then they do you exactly like that. It's like, boy, why you waste this 5 years of my life? Like, that's literally a quarter of my life. Like, and his too. It's like, it's like, do people not even care, like, about wasting like all their time? Like, if you're telling me you want to be with me like this whole time, then I'm gonna stick around because I really was like in love with him. So it's like, yeah, okay, like if you need time, whatever, like I'm gonna be here for you. Like, that's just the moral of the story. Like, I was always there for him no matter fucking what. And it's like he literally never did the same for me. Like, every time I needed him, he wasn't there. Like, he was ghost. Like, 9 times out of 10, if I needed him, like, he was not there for me like how I needed him. And like in different ways too, not just like, I'm not even kidding when I say like I was always there for him, and like every time I needed him, like he literally wasn't there for me, like in one way or like in one form or another. Like he literally just was not there for me like how I needed him. And it's like, I literally am with you through thick and thin, and it's like the second something gets hard for me, it's like you just want to dip. Like, can anyone relate? Like, I guess I'm just a fucking writer. Like, I would, like, if I love you, like any like problem, like we can try to work it out. Like, I don't know. So anyway, so we're not even together yet. He's saying like, oh, he's not even ready for relationships. So I fucking move. I pack up and move. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I don't want like have all these memories of us just here in the house and like everything. Like, I just couldn't take it anymore. So I'm like, I have to move. So I move somewhere else. And then as soon as I move, like the day that I'm moving, he's like, I'll hang out with me. And he's like, we're still gonna talk, like we're still gonna see each other, like don't worry and all this stuff. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is fucking with my head right now. Like, I didn't know you were gonna still want to fuck with me if I moved. Like, it just changed everything when he said that, because I thought I was like gonna get over him. And then he's just like, oh well, like I'm not gonna let you like go like that. It's just like, I'm not gonna just let you go like that. Like, he wanted to like continue talking and doing whatever we were doing, like from a long distance, I guess. So I'm out here for a couple months and he's in jail. He goes back in jail because I'm not there to keep him out of trouble. So he keeps going back to jail, like violating his probation. And yeah, while he's in jail, I was trying to make some new friends out here and, you know, somewhat make like a new life. And he was super insecure. Like, he did not want me hanging out talking to any guys, like nothing. Like, I got a car and then he was like super insecure. Like after I got a car, like he was just so insecure because he felt like I was just driving around, like it's just like driving around, like picking up a bunch of random guys and like fucking them. Like, that's literally like what he thinks. And so he got super insecure. So then I remember this day too. It was like so important to me. On March 19th of last year, March 19th, 2018, I remember this day so well. It was like literally like one of the happiest days like of my life. Like, he said that he wanted us to be exclusive and he wanted me to be his girlfriend. And this is like super hard for me right now because that's literally, it would have been our 1 year tomorrow. And so that's what we did. We got together and we just had a relationship because over the phone, because he was in jail. And I waited for him. Like, I waited like 6 months for him to get out of jail. And we would talk every day. Like, I would answer the phone, pick up, like literally like stop working like 5 times a day just to like be there and answer his calls like every time he called me. And you know what, that's what gets me so fucked up. Like, no matter what, like I was always there for him, like no matter what. It's like people will just change up on you, like they don't give a fuck. He doesn't realize how much fucking effort I put in because he wasn't doing the same thing, you know. He doesn't realize how draining it was, like, to do all that because he wasn't there. He didn't see, he didn't know, he didn't go through it, you know. He's never had to do that for someone else. So it's like he just wanted me to totally isolate myself and just talk to him, like, as if I was in jail too. I'm like, this ain't fair, yo. Like, you know, I'm not in jail. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't try to kill my ex-wife. Like, you know, I shouldn't have to be living like, you know, I can't talk to anybody and I can't hang out or have friends. Like, that's just fucking weird and sick. But at the time, I was just so happy to, like, be with him. Then, you know, I was trying to do whatever to make him happy. Like, that's how much, like, love I had. Like, I would do whatever it took to make him happy, honestly. So I waited for him. And then the day finally came when he got out, and he was, like, begging me for weeks, like, trying to get a plan, like, oh, you're gonna come, like, drive down here, like, right when I get out of jail, like, and you're gonna come stay with me for, like, a couple weeks. And I'm like, yeah, like, we're so excited about it. And I go, and everything's good, like, the first couple days, and then after, like, a day or two, he really starts getting on my nerve. Like, everything he said he was gonna do, like, he didn't do. And, like, I had done all this and drove all the way there, and I was, like, looking at him one night, and we were on the couch, and I was asking him to look at me. I was like, please look at me, like, I want to tell you something, like, important. Like, I wasn't crying, I was just good, like, normal. I was like trying to talk to him, and he, like, was looking, like, in another way, but I was trying to tell him that I loved him for the first time. So I wanted him to look at me, you know? You know, it was a big deal for me to finally, like, tell him, like, I love you, like, because before this point, like, I had tried to act, like, you know, hard to get, and, like, not hard to get, but it's hard to explain. Like, I had never really, like, expressed, like, my feelings like that towards him. Like, he knew, like, that I was, like, he knew that I liked him, but I had never said I love you. So I was trying to tell him I love you in person for the first time, and he's, like, looking the other way, and I'm like, please look at me, like, I want to tell you something, like, important. And he looks at me for a split second and then looks right behind me, like, at his fish tank. And I'm like, you can't even look at me? And he's just, like, staring at the fish tank. And I'm, like, literally, and so, like, my heart just feels like it's shattering because, like, I've waited so long to sit here in front of you to tell you this. I just want to look in your eyes and tell you. And, like, you're just looking straight past me. Like, you don't even care what I have to say. Like, I don't want, like, I want to, like, tell you I'm in love with you, like, for the first time, and you're, like, not even looking or not even paying attention. Like, that shit just still gets me and still hurts, like, even talking that. Okay, I totally messed up my makeup. So anyway, I'm so mad that he came and just looked at me for a split second after I asked him, like, 2 or 3 times. And I told him, like, yo, I'm trying to tell you something, like, serious. Like, can you look at me? And he still won't look at me. So I got up and left, and he didn't say anything. Like, I thought he was gonna, like, come chasing after me or something. Like, the way he's talking, the way he's telling me he feels about me, like, you know, I'm all the way out there going to visit him in another state, and it's like, you're just gonna let me leave? Like, it's like he didn't even care or put any effort in the whole time. Like, that was the first time we hung out, like, after making it an official relationship. And it's like, you're not even gonna try, like, at all. Like, and sometimes I think, like, maybe I should have handled that differently. Like, maybe I should just, like, you know, gone up to his face and, like, gave him a hug and, like, just told him that I loved him and, like, hugged him. And I just wish I literally, like, handled it all differently now, and it sucks. It sucks. When you're trying to blend away your tears, like, hello. But no, shit sucks when you have like regrets like that. But I also think like, you know, like maybe I'm just too good for him. Like I don't need to be with someone who makes me feel like, you know, I just want to get up and leave because they can't even give me like the respect of looking at me, like acting like I'm not even worth like their time of day. Like, how rude is that? So our relationship continues. It's pretty toxic. Like, the first time I left, like, he did not call me like the whole time home, and I was like devastated. I was like literally like having a fucking breakdown on the freeway, like trying to drive home. And it was a disaster. Like, I had put everything like into this, and you know, he just, because we got in like a fight, like just, you know, was just giving up like on everything. Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward. I went there like 3 more times, and the last time I went there, he was telling me, like, he literally told me he was in love with me for the first time, and he wanted me to come, like, after, like, we definitely had our arguments and shit, but he literally, like, told me he was in love with me still after that, and, like, wanted me to come back. So that was, like, in November, I remember, because it was so special to me. It's, like, that's how important this person was. Like, I remember, like, every day, every time, like, he said something or did something that was super special. So in November, he told me he was in love with me for the first time, and then I planned a trip in January to go see him. And I'm really confused because right before I go see him, maybe like a week before I'm supposed to leave to go see him, he tells me like, oh, this isn't working out. Like, we should just go back to being friends. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you just told me you were in love with me like a couple weeks ago. Like, I'm supposed to be coming to see you. Like, it just seemed like his mind changed all of a sudden about me. And I was like, whoa, like, what just happened? Like, and I was telling him, like, is this because you want to see another girl? Because, you know, I just rather know that. I mean, I spent a lot of time with you. I'd prefer to know if you just want to see another girl. Like, I get it. If we're not getting along, just let me know that so I can, you know, move on and do my thing also and see other guys and stuff. But he was like, no, it's not that. Like, I just want to work on me. Like, I don't want to fight with you. Like, I just want to make myself better. Like, you know what I mean? He was saying that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, like, I can agree with that. So I go home and I'm just working on myself. Like, he, like, wasn't really talking to me. So I was, like, kind of confused because we left on, like, good terms. Like, I was trying so hard to make him happy. Like, I did everything like I could, literally. And I was like, okay, so what's going on? I told you, like, before when I met him, like, he was calling me off the hook. Like, I couldn't hang out with anyone without him calling. My phone was just constantly going off. Like, if I was working, anything. And then after I got back, okay, so, no, let me rewind. When I was there the last time, I saw some girl text him, and she was like, some shit like, oh, let me suck you, daddy. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck is that? I literally took his phone and, like, threw it. I was, like, so mad. I was about to leave his ass, like, right there in the snow. I was like, who is this? Because he was hella talking to this girl, and he's like, I'm sorry, like, I never met her, like, I never met up with her, like, she lives in Vegas, like, I'm just talking to her, like, I don't even know her, like, also, like, and I was like, oh, you don't know her? Fucking prove it, like, call her right now. So he calls her, like, on speaker, and, like, I felt like I didn't even want I never wanted to be that girl doing this either. Like, I always thought those girls were so embarrassing. Like, just fucking dump him. But I mean, after that long, I want to know what he was really doing. Like, I just want to know, like, what's really going on. So I'm like, call her. He like doesn't know what to say. Like, he's looking like super uncomfortable, and he like doesn't even know what to say. Like, he's looking like super uncomfortable and like looking at me, and I'm like, ask her if she knows you have a girlfriend, because he was telling me like, oh, she, like, we talk all about you and like all this weird shit. And I'm like, and I wanted to hear what she had to say about me, so I'm like, ask her about me. Like, I'm like, ask her if she knows that you have a girlfriend. And then what she said was like, oh, like, what, like the one you just broke up with or something like that. When we never broke up, like, we were like literally trying to make it work. Like, what I thought, I mean, that's what he was kind of telling me. Like, he said, let's be friends. But then once I got there, we were like, you know, we fell right back into the relationship shit, and then was like trying to make it work. So we were trying to make it work at this point. And she's like, oh, the girlfriend you just broke up with? And I'm like, bet. So I take his phone and I literally throw it out the window. I throw it out of my car into the snow, like onto the ground. It like flies across the ground like in a cartwheel, and then like fucking gets like hella fucked up. And I'm just so mad, and I'm about to leave his ass like right there in the snow, and he's like crying, like telling me like, oh, like, you know, I didn't know like how much you really wanted to like work this out with me. Like, I didn't even realize, like, you know, I really care about you. Like, I'm like literally about to cry right now. Like, I am stupid, like, blah blah blah, all this shit. And then, so yeah, I leave, and I'm like feeling so uneasy. Like, so I found out about that shit, and then literally the way he was making it sound was like, I'm so stupid, like, I'm never gonna do that shit again. Like, he was literally making it sound like, oh, like, that was nothing, like, you know, like, I realized, like, how hard you're trying, and I, like, want to, like, really be with you. And I thought we were on good terms, but then later that day we go to the pool, and then we're like walking back upstairs, and he literally slaps me out of nowhere, like literally slaps me. And so I slap him back. I'm like, what the fuck, why do you do that? Like, that's so disrespectful. Like, he was like smiling and laughing too, like it was some kind of joke. I'm like, do not disrespect me like that. Like, I'm like a fucking woman. Like, you don't touch me like that, especially after everything I do for you. Like, I was like paying for the hotel, I was paying for everything, and he wants to like, and I forgave him for fucking talking to that girl, and then he's gonna slap me in the face. Like, are you serious, bitch? Like, you literally deserve to be bitch slapped so hard right now. So I fucking hit him back, and then he got hella mad. He's like, don't ever hit me like that, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you don't ever hit me like that. Like, I felt so disrespected. And then fucking right behind us is like his whole family. Like, he invited his mom and everyone upstairs without even telling me, and then he's gonna slap me when we're all on the way upstairs. And then I'm like, get your shit and get out. Like, I'm done with you. Like, no, we're not all going in my room. Like, you can go home with them, like, and I'll just stay here. So I was like, just bye, just leave. And then his whole, like, he like follows me in the room, and his family leaves. He's like, what is that all about? Why do you have to fight in front of my family? I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, you literally, like, that is so fucking disrespectful. That is so fucking disrespectful. Like, seriously, if anyone wants to fucking fuck this guy up, like, I'll literally send you the fucking addy. Like, I hate him so much. Anyway, we leave. I mean, everything's okay. I'm not happy with him because, you know, all that shit happened, but it's like, I don't even expect a lot from him at this point, because I know he's such a fucking loser. It's like, my expectations are so damn low at this point for him. It's like, you know, I was just pretty much glad he wasn't like physically cheating on me like with someone else. So I'm like, okay, I might, you know, I was still wishing like we could work through, you know. I'm like, he's not perfect, but like I'm not either, like no one is. So, you know, anyway, we left on what I thought were good terms, and then I get home and like we're barely talking like the whole time I get home. And I'm kind of mad because he already did this to me the first time. Like, he didn't call me like after I got home, and like damn near had breakdown because it's like we just spent weeks together and now I'm going home and you're not even gonna call me. Like, what's going on? Like, are you glad that I'm gone? It's like, just let me know like how you feel. Like, it drives me so crazy. Like, he would just not even like tell me like in the slightest. Like, you know, if he just wanted to fuck with another girl, like why couldn't he just say that? Like, so anyway, I go home. He's not really talking to me, so I just figure like he's just, you know, he was also smoking a lot of spice, so I figure he's just being a fucking weirdo. And like, I know him, so I know I don't know why I'm making excuses for him, but we weren't really talking and I was so confused. I was like, what's going on? And so I was pretty confused because but every once in a while he would message me and be like, oh, like I was like car shopping one day and he messaged me like, oh, are you having fun with your new boyfriend? And I'm like, no, like what are you talking about? Like, you know, he tried to like, I just didn't understand what was going on. Like, because we left on what I thought were good terms, and then he literally like every time I would go, he literally like, it was just so weird. Like, he didn't like talk to me after I got back, and I was like, you know, if we're trying to work on things, why are you just not communicating with me? Like, you know, if something's wrong, like just let me know. Like, you know, it's not good to just ghost someone and, you know, not really even give them a reason to, you know, for why. Like, don't act like everything's okay and then once I go home, like, you're not gonna call me. Like, I really just don't understand it. Like, either he's just a piece of shit and a loser, or, you know, I don't know why you do that to someone. Like, I didn't understand it, but occasionally he would say some stuff like, oh, do you have a new boyfriend? Like, have you been fucking anyone? Like, I might have to just come out there, like, if you haven't, like, if you've been good or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, talking like as if we're still together. So I'm like thinking like, okay, he's just trying to get his shit together. Like, he'll, you know, I'll find you again. Like, he's just trying to do him right now, and he'll work on himself and I'll work on myself, and then we'll come back together. But so the whole time he's telling me like, no, I'm not fucking with anyone else. Like, it's not no other girl. Like, I'm just trying to do me. And then I kept seeing this girl pop up in my recommended on Instagram, and the only person we had in common was him. And I was like, what the fuck? So I requested her, and she messaged me and she's like, do I know you? And I'm like, no, but why is my boyfriend following you? And she's like, oh, I think you got it the other way around. I'm like, what do you mean you're following him? Like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, she tried to act all smart, but like, you sound hella dumb. Like, what do you mean the other way around? Like, you followed him then? Like, why? Like, how do you know him? And she's like, who, Brian? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I live with him. Like, that's my nigga. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we together and all this shit for months. I'm like, I'm literally crying, laughing at you, girl. What do you mean you're together for months? Like, literally, he spent like fucking 3 weeks with me like 2 months ago. Like, you ain't no damn together for no damn months. Like, girl, you tripping. So I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was just there in January. She's like, yeah, we met in like middle of January or whatever. Like, so basically right after I left. And she was saying like, oh, one of those nights, like the night he left you to say he was going to work, like he was hanging out with me and like you were crying on the phone and like I was laughing and all this shit. He never cared about you. Like, him saying he loved you was just words. That's all in the past. Da da da. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why couldn't he be a man and tell me that shit? Like, you don't say you love someone and say you care about them so much and then just in the blink of an eye, like, just in the blink of an eye, you're just gonna turn on me and act like, you know, this stranger is like your new bitch and like you're gonna tell her all this shit about me and like, you know, laugh at me crying with her. Like, you know, like, you think you fucking know someone, right? You think you fucking know someone, like, and everyone is going through like a fucking heartbreak. I hope there's like some people going through the same shit and you're watching this and like, please comment your shit, like, because like on the real though, I'm going through it like pretty bad. So anyway, I'm just sitting here like dumbfounded, like, why this whole time you're asking me if I'm fucking with someone else and you literally moved in with her, like, and this bitch said, oh, he lives with me. It's like, you literally moved in with her right after you left me acting like we're all good. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, if you moved on and you moved on to someone else, then just say like, hey, I found someone else. Like, I'm a big girl. Like, I would have just went and found someone else too, you know, like, but he didn't. He kept wanting to play like, oh, like, I might have to like come out there and see you, like, blah blah blah. He kept just trying to act like we were together, like how he was talking to me, and then she's all messaging me like, get off his dick, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's literally like telling me like, oh, he's still in love with me, he still has feelings for me, like, you know, he was crying when I was there saying he's trying to make it work. So I'm just so confused. Like, I can't get off his dick. Like, I didn't even know, like, he wanted me off his dick. Like, as far as I know, like, he's telling me, like, you know, he wants to be with me. So I'm extremely confused at this point. And so, yeah, I went to go stalk her a little bit. And here's the tea for you, sis. Okay, since you all call me sis bitch, sis says bitch, but here's the fucking tea for you, sis. I stalked your fucking Instagram page and I saw your fucking picture where you went to homecoming earlier this year in 2018. So how old is you, girl? Like, are you good? Like, how old is she? And then I'm like, whoa, like, this guy was fucking me when I was 15. He's fucking with some other girl who's in high school. Like, who even knows how old she is? And I go back to her messages and I'm like, yo, how old are you? Like, I saw your homecoming picture. Like, real shit though, how old are you? And she fucking blocked me. She blocked me. And that's when I'm like, oh, bitch is not even old enough. This boy is so sickly. Like, he's sick, he's gross and disgusting as fuck. Like, and so I post on my Facebook, Eddie Mo is a fucking sex offender, like, loves having sex with underage children. And he literally was like, what are you talking about? You're crazy because I don't want to be with you. She's at first he said she's 20 and then later he said she's 19. So I'm like, boy, how is she 20 and then 19 in the same damn day? Like, I know you're lying. How old is she really? Like, if you knew how old she was, she's either 19 or 20. Like, he said 20, like, in an Instagram message, and then, like, 19, like, on Facebook. Like, Nigga, either you don't, like, bro, either you don't know how old she is or you're literally lying because she's literally not even 18. So my ex is literally a fucking pedophile. And yeah, I'm fucking sad about it because that bitch was acting like, oh, it's so funny, like, it's so funny that he's playing her. Girl, you don't even know. That's finna be your ass if you're even lucky enough for him, like he totally plays this mind game with you too to make you think like, oh, he's the shit, and like, oh, you're so lucky to have him, when in reality, like, I'm a fucking queen and a princess and like all the good shit, and he's like all the bad shit and like the devil. So it's always like a mask, right? Like, people try to put on a mask and act like, oh, like, I'm so, you know, great and this and that. It's like, you're not. You act like that because you don't even like yourself. Like, I can tell because he went from his baby mama right to me, right to this other girl. Like, he hasn't even had a damn break from relationships in like damn near 10 years or something. Like, I just don't understand. Like, he's just such a broken person, literally. Like, to not even give me any answers, like, just to not even give me any answers, like, it's really sick. I spent a quarter of my whole life, like, wanting to be with him and, like, you know, trying to make it work, and it's like, why are you just gonna, you know, ghost me and act like I'm not even, like, anything, and this bitch is over here, like, hella disrespecting me, like, you were hanging out with her, like, instead of, like, hanging out with me when I was there. Like, I just feel so honestly disrespected and fucking disgusted with him. Like, a couple days ago, before I found all this shit out, like, I was honestly gonna call him and be like, what do you want to do? Because, like, I, like, really care about you. Like, I want you to, like, move here or something. Like, I was gonna call him and, like, reconcile, you know? Like, and then I found out all this shit, and it's like, dude, I don't even want him. I literally, like, think about him now, and I'm, like, so fucking disgusted. Like, I just think, like, gross. Like, you're gross. You're fucking disgusting, and I would never fucking fuck with someone like that. Like, I don't even know why I fucked with it for so long. Like, he's gross. So yeah, I, like, message him and I'm like, you're literally such a pedophile. Like, you're fucking disgusting. Like, how old is she? And he's like, why are you trying to ruin my life? Like, da-da-da. And I'm like, all I've been doing this whole time is literally trying to make your life as comfortable and happy as possible. Like, are you serious? Like, I've been trying to do everything to make you happy, and it's like, why don't you just make me happy for once? Like, let me know, like, the truth. Like, why? I just don't understand it. Like, at one point we were best friends and we told each other everything, and it's like, why did someday, like, we just weren't that? Like, how did we become enemies, you know? Why did someday we just stop telling each other everything? Like, and that shit's about to drive me crazy thinking about, honestly. Like, and what really fucked me up was I texted him and asked him why he lied about all this, and I'm like, this bitch is saying you never even loved me. Like, did you ever love me? And he's like, I do, I still do. But it's just not a healthy relationship. And so I'm broken. And I don't know, I just wanted to get that shit off my chest because I felt like I can't even, like, go live my day. Like, I can't even go to work. I can't, like, do anything. Like, all I think about is this shit and, like, why it had to go down like this, because, you know, that was, like, I mean, I was in love with him. That was the first guy I was ever in love with. So, for him to just end it like that, it hurts. And I wish wish he would have just called me and told me himself, like a man. And this little stranger ass hoe didn't have to like come in and tell me all this shit that I really didn't want to hear. But that's how it all went down. And I'm not really that happy. I'm actually pretty sad. So thank you for watching me cry. This has literally been an hour and 2 minutes. But my makeup's all done. I think I'm gonna go hang out with my friends and do acid so I can like literally go to another universe and not have to think about my real life bullshit. So thank you so much for watching. If you're going through something similar, like, I'd love to talk about it in the comments. I don't know if like how unusual it is to cry for this long on YouTube, but hopefully this wasn't like that annoying. And if you're going through a breakup, like, maybe you can relate, or maybe you just, I don't know, if you watch this, you a fucking real one. That's why I like threw in like his name and shit at the end, because I'm like, fuck this dude, like he can literally suck my dick. Like, thumbnail. Yeah, so I fucking hate him right now. I'm so disgusted. Like, I can't believe he gonna do me just like how he did his ex. And I just can't believe he would do that to me. But honestly, seeing how he ended everything with his ex, it's like, why did I think that, you know, he was gonna just change like so soon and be better? Like, I shouldn't, you know, trusted that. But the heart wants what it wants, and I just have to, you know, learn to go on with my life. And he's just gonna get what he deserves. Like, at the end of the day, like, I know that I'm a good person, and I'd give my all to someone. So it's like, if you can't respect that, if you can't give that back, then it's like, you don't fucking deserve me. And it's hard, but you gotta realize sometimes, like, you're literally better than that. Like, not on like a physical level, like on like a fucking spiritual and like emotional level. Like, I'm more advanced than him. Like, he's, I don't know, he's just stuck in his own little world. He thinks it's all about him, and that's cute, but that shit's gonna, you know, die one day, and you're gonna have real fucking responsibilities and shit. And, you know, it's not gonna be all about you all of a sudden. It's gonna be about you and your partner and your family. Like, so yeah, if there's one thing I guess I learned, if someone's showing you who they are, fucking listen to them. Because literally the whole time it was just red flag after red flag. And he showed me what he did to his ex, and I still like gave him the chance. I still gave him the time of day, and I literally don't know why, but everything happens for a reason. So I just gotta hold on to that, and I know that I'll be good because I have a good heart. Like, he is just not a good person. Like, he doesn't have a good heart. He doesn't even care to tell me the truth after 5 years of being together. Like, that's just someone with like literally a bad heart. Like, you just suck, bro. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go be happy now. And if you liked or can relate, like and subscribe and do all that shit. And thank you so much for giving me a fucking outlet to talk about this show on, because now I feel like I got 35 fucking friends that I can share my bullshit with, that I can tell this kind of stuff to. And because I don't have like that many people in my real life who like want to hear about this, because this drama with him has been going on a long time. Thank you so much for being here while I vent, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I'm a lot happier, and I'm gonna try my hardest to just keep moving forward. And if you're going through the same shit, I hope you do too.